Thank you for staying with us for this extended noon newscast. So many elements of this breaking story that we're working on.
And Paul Kiska is on Seymour Avenue in front of the house where these women were found yesterday. Paul, what's the latest?
Well, Lee, certainly it's understandable, all of this overjoy, the celebration, the elation, because of the dramatic ending that these three women got away from this house, from this man, with their lives. But as we learn more details about what happened to them, your heart certainly goes out to these women. For instance, two biggest developments we got from a source this afternoon. Number one, that when the women were here at the house, they were tied up at times with chains and with tape and kept separate in different rooms, perhaps one untied at a time. Secondly, we've also confirmed through a source that one of the women had at least 2 miscarriages while being held here, by being held captive here. And they believe the reason she had the miscarriages is because she was so malnourished, according to this source, she could not sustain the pregnancies. And now we're going to hear from Deputy Chief Tamba talking about Amanda Berry, who disappeared more than 10 years ago, and what a hero she is.
The real hero here is Amanda. I mean, she is the real hero. I mean, she's the one that got this rolling. We're following her lead. Without her, none of us would be here today.
And today they're all here, the FBI, police, the sheriff's department. They have the command center set up down the street. At some point, you see the White House with the front porch light on. They're going to go in there, start searching, collecting more evidence, look at the yards. There's large abandoned homes around here. They'll look at those. Tamba also told me at that news conference that they're going to look into whether the primary suspect here, 52-year-old Ariel Castro, has any connections to any other properties around here or in town. They'll search those as well. But everybody knows the guy around here. I really unbelievable twist here in the last 24 hours as more details come out. We're being told, though, that they're going to try and give these women all the emotional help they can. The FBI bringing in its children's forensic team, keeping in mind that these women went missing when they were just kids, young teenagers. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. We appreciate your report. Our live team coverage continues now, so we check back in with Kristen Byrne. She's live outside the home of Gina DeJesus, the front of the home being taken over by balloons and signs, I'm told, Kristen.
Yes, Leon, you can see behind me tons of those well wishes for Gina DeJesus and her family. A lot of overwhelming emotions here throughout the day. Even starting this morning, we've been watching people drop things off here at the home. But police have put up this crime scene tape because they want to give the family some privacy. So that's what we've been seeing here. Some friends and family, though, allowed to go in and drop those items off for Gina DeJesus and her family here this morning. Also, the Guardian Angels here, a community support group that helps find missing children, has been showing up, connecting with the family. Earlier, we were able to speak with Gina's aunt, and she told us how Gina is doing. Take a listen.
We need to still be a family, neighborhood with neighborhood. We need to watch out for all kids. Really, watch who your neighbor is, because you'll never know. We have to take care of everybody's children. And God has blessed us by bringing all 3 of those girls, all of them back.
To make this clear, Gina DeJesus, her mother and father, we have learned, are not at this location. They are not at this home, her family home where she grew up. They're at an undisclosed location, the family not telling us where they are right now as this investigation into the rescue case continues. But, we talked about the joy and the relief. Yes, there is a lot of that here today, but there's also anger. Earlier, I spoke with Gina DeJesus' uncle. He said he is so angry at one of the suspected kidnappers, Ariel Castro. He says he wants to go after him. He was very frustrated about all of this happening to his niece.
Thank you so much, Kristen Byrne on West 71st Street. We appreciate that. Well, this is a case with which most Clevelanders are familiar. Each one of these women was taken at different points over a 3-year period. And as Danita Harris reports, they all disappeared from the same general area of the Cleveland West Side.
Amanda Berry disappeared around 7:30 p.m. April 21st, 2003, a day before her 17th birthday. She called her sister before leaving her job at Burger King. She was last seen at West 110th Street and Lorraine Avenue. Her mother, LaWanna Miller, held out hope Amanda was alive.
Hopes are in there. They're trying to stay as strong as can be. But with no answers and not a lead, not a clue, not nothing, that's what's hard, because you don't know.
Luana always bought presents for her missing daughter, hoping she'd be home to open them. But Luana passed away in 2006 before knowing the truth about what happened to Amanda. Gina DeJesus vanished about a year later, on August 2nd, 2004, while walking home from school in the same area. Her parents held a vigil every year on the anniversary of her disappearance, never giving up hope their daughter was still alive.
I have that hope that we're going to bring her home, that way I don't have to come back out here another year looking for my daughter.
Gina's mother has always believed her daughter was kidnapped and sold into the trade.
Thank you, Danita. The third young woman, Michelle Knight, was 21 at the time of her disappearance. She was last seen at a cousin's house near West 106th Street and Lorraine Avenue. That was August the 23rd, 2002. Lee?
Well, the neighborhood where the girls were found remains in a state of shock today, wondering if there was anything anyone could have done to find these girls earlier. News Channel 5's Kristen Volk joins us now live from Seymour Avenue. And Kristen, it has been very interesting to listen to people in this neighborhood talk and really carrying kind of a burden today of some self-doubt and wondering if they could have seen past all of the efforts to conceal this crime.
Certainly, people are looking back wondering how and why they didn't see these signs, why they didn't speak up and say more. But there were plenty of people here on this block who did try to do something, who did try to call police. They did tell me, a few of them did tell me that they called police 2 years ago, even last year, that they heard a woman and a little girl pounding on the window for help. They called police. Police came, drove by, didn't do much. They also saw in the backyard suspect Ariel Castro naked with a woman, and they called police. Again, the same sort of thing happening. The police drove by and not much happened after that. But I want to paint the crime scene for you here, show you what's going on. Police have barricaded Ariel Castro's house there. We've got officers on scene keeping security, and we've got the Cleveland Police Mobile Command Unit in place. The light on the front porch of Ariel Castro's house is on, and you can see the front door there. The bottom of the front door is busted in. That's where Amanda Berry was able to escape last night. Just this morning, there was an impromptu prayer vigil that happened here. Community residents and neighbors gathered together to pray for the well-being of Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight. They also prayed for the heroic actions and was thankful for the heroic actions of the neighbor who actually saved these girls. And they say that this is a wake-up call, that this is really a sign that people need to see something, and if they see something, that they need to say something.
If we want better neighborhoods, if we want better community, we need to speak up. We just can't wait for a 911 call.
One of the neighbors I spoke to this morning says over the years he was very friendly with Ariel Castro, told me that he really spent a lot of time with him, but he noticed some oddities that he really wished he could have picked up on sooner, that he changed clothes often throughout the day, changed vehicles, would come and go very often in different clothes and different vehicles, and he never used the front door. He always went out the back door, and when he opened that door, he would just do so very smallly, just enough to get in the door and then close it right away and lock it. Live in Cleveland, I'm Kristen Volk, News Channel 5.
Never used that front door that Amanda Berry broke out of yesterday. You know, I think one of the really disturbing bits of information, Kristen, is that we're hearing that someone may have spotted one of the women and that small child at a window, pounding on the window, and somehow this didn't lead to their discovery. Have you gotten the sense from anyone there that these people were ever seen outside, or from investigators that they may have been moved elsewhere during this 10-year period?
From what it sounds like, that the house here has always been barricaded as it is now, barricaded in terms of the windows boarded and plastic on the front windows that no one could see in, no one could see out. We're unsure about whether these girls were moved at all, but it certainly seems that there was really no escaping the house as is in this condition.
Well, we'll certainly learn more as this investigation unfolds, and if we are finally able to hear from the three women who were held captive there. Kristen Volk, thanks very much, live there on Seymour Avenue. We'll be back with more of our coverage right after this.